Oh, hello. I was like, no one's here.
Hey, I should have known you would be able to.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Let me see. Maybe it's me. Oh, I think it was me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That way everyone else can see it. So we will go over, I got one question submitted. Part of that question you don't actually need to worry about, so I will talk about that with her.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I will try to answer any questions you guys have. Let's find the PowerPoint. Let's find the review sheet. Hold on. Let me find it real quick and I will share my screen with you guys. And then we can go from there. All right. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So just like last time, it is 50 questions, true, false, matching, multiple choice. Most of it is multiple choice this time.
Right.
There are what I would say are kind of sort of calculations, but they're so simple that you don't need a calculator. But if you have a calculator and you really want to use it, that's fine. But I don't think you'll need it. I gave you 90 minutes again for 50 questions, which is quite a bit.
Right.
Go back to a question. That's fine. You can skip a question. No problem. Just don't close the exam. So, and then you need your lockdown browser, but not the monitor. As always, it is open notes, open textbook. It is not open friend or open internet.
Right.
Were there any terms that either one of y'all were like, what in the world?
Well, I think at first I was confused about like the N and F, but I think the reason I got confused is because I remember looking. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like in the end notes. It kind of confused me because it was like the uppercase F just stands for another statistic. I was like, well, like what do you mean another statistic? But I guess they're just like a placeholder, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't let it confuse you. Let's see. You know, just I know it's one of those things like that's one of those places. Make sure you don't Google.
Right.
Make sure you only like look at the textbook.
Right.
Because that's what we're gonna go by.
Okay.
So you know the F we're looking for is frequency.
Right.
Okay. The N is the number of participants.
Okay. Yeah. That one was really made clear. It's just the end notes kind of confused me when they like. I was like, okay, well.
Okay. Yeah. So you know, making sure you stick with those. Like I mentioned just a minute ago, that you know, proportions to percentages, percentages to proportions.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you want to have a calculator, whether that's your phone or an actual calculator, which probably nobody has because I don't even have one. They're very simple. You know, it's really gonna be like moving the, you know, as always, moving the decimal point.
Right. Right.
Okay. So it's nothing that you need to really stress over. Think about that. So questions on the normal curve, positive, negative skew, that seems to be a question. Let me pull up the PowerPoint for that real quick. And I'll share my screen with you for that. All right, let's see if I can get it to share. All right, so you should be able to see me. So now let's share this. All right, so we talked about the different shapes. Okay. So the most common shape is the bell curve, which is known as the normal distribution.
Mm-hmm.
That's this one. So that's the bell curve. Okay, so
Right.
when you're looking at it, always looking at it, this is the far side. So over here, okay, these are the lowest numbers with these going higher. So this one is a bell curve. That's what most exams look like, really. You've got a few people down here who score really poorly. You've got a few people who make your 99s, 100s, those grades. But most people make, on average, a C. Because if you think about it, a C is usually the average grade. Okay, so that's normal. This one, okay, is positive. Okay, meaning, all right, we want a positive test score. Okay, because we have a lot fewer people over here. You got more over here. Okay. I'm sorry. I just 100% said that backwards. Let me say it again. Okay. You don't want a positive skew. Okay. You have more people. So you see here. So if this is the center right here, can y'all see where I'm pointing? I don't know if you can.
Yes.
Okay. You see here? Right here, this line. Right? That's the center. So it's off center. It's off to the lower numbers. Okay. So you don't want a test that has a positive skew. Okay, think of the income. Okay, so this is the example that was in your textbook, was the income right here. Okay, so many people have the low income when the curve is high on the left, the low numbers. Only a few people have a higher income. So that's normal. That's how income is in the US. So let's look at the negative. So this is the low scores. Only a few people have the low scores. Many people have higher scores. Okay. So when it's leaning towards the high end, that's what you want to see. Okay.
Okay.
Bimodal, you very, very rarely see these. Very rarely. Okay. Like I've never done a research that has it.
Right.
Okay, but age is one that you do see. We have a high number of young people. We kind of dip off, and then a higher number of like middle age, and then it drops with age.
Okay.
So those are the ones you're going to see some, but you don't see those very often. Okay. For these on the exam, just think about, which one would it, if you just think about it, like I'll give you a scenario and it would tell you, so if I said that a lot of people in the population are obese, which way would it go?
Would it be
Positive, negative, normal, or bimodal?
would it be negative?
It would be negative.
Okay.
Okay. It would be negative because I said a lot of people are obese. The high numbers are out here.
Right.
So I said that people are either super skinny or obese. What would it be?
Bimodal?
Excellent. And then if I said that, very few people were obese.
Positive.
There you go. Does that make sense to everyone else?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Let's find let's stop screen sharing again before I show you all your exam. I do have it up because I'm trying to make sure I got everything. Let's go back and share again. Okay. Anything else on this y'all had a question about?
I think I'm overthinking this, but because it states it pretty simply. But when you said the sum of standard deviation, you meant 0, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Good question. Because probably somebody else had the same question.
Oh, okay.
If I told you the numbers were 2, 5, 7, 9, 33, what's the outlier?
33, right?
Good. Okay. If I said, here, let's write some things in. If I gave you these numbers, which one has a higher standard deviation? What is standard deviation? Let's do that. Somebody tell me what standard deviation is. Anybody?
It's
not like the textbook definition. Just tell me in your own words. How far from what?
How far from the from like the like frequency, basically? How far from
It starts with an M.
the mean?
There you go.
Oh.
So like how many units from the mean? Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing you would think about is this one, right? Okay, so if we did the mean of this, it's going to be, here, let's make this real easy. Let's make this a 6. The mean is 8.
8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The mean here is going to be what? Bigger or smaller than 8?
Bigger.
Bigger. Okay. Right, we're going to say this is, I don't know what I don't do math. We'll say it's 12. Okay, this is 8. Okay, so we remember which one's which. So which one has a smaller standard deviation?
It'd be 8, right?
Yep, this top one. Okay, so did y'all see how we figured that out? So this, if you're looking right here, right? 7 is only 1 unit from 8. 6
Right.
is only 2 units from 8.
Right.
Do you want to
So
have
if you
the
look
whole one?
here, if you say it's 12, 12 units from 22 is 10. The
Right.
standard deviation is automatically bigger. From 2, it's 10.
So yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense to anybody?
It kind of made sense.
Kind of makes sense? Okay. So when you're looking at them, okay, what you're going to look at, I'm looking at your test right now. Okay. We'll give you a group just like this. Okay. One of them is going to look an awful lot like this. Not the same numbers. One of them is going to look a little bit more like okay. So just looking at that, which one has the smaller standard deviation?
The top one.
Top. Okay. There's, I believe, one question on your exam like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Let's do another example. Let's do this. Let me see if I can get another screen up. Hold on. You don't need my whole desktop. Hold on. See how many things. Okay. All right. So if I said that, let's say, running, weights, hiking, walking. Okay. And let's say percentage that do this weekly is, let's say, 50%. 25%. And then weights, lifetime is 75% have done it in their life, 85% have run in their life. Okay?
All right.
So using this, here, let me put this above. So this is weekly. Okay? This is life. All right. So using that table, what percentage of participants reported ever running?
Ever running? So
Ever
basically
running.
in life.
Which one?
80. Wouldn't it be like the life category of running?
Yes, it would be
Okay.
85. Excellent. What percentage of participants report running or using weights weekly?
25%.
25.
Good. Okay. Which of the two have the highest lifetime use?
Running?
Good. Which one has the lowest weekly?
Wait.
Good. So no matter if I give you 5 things on there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get overwhelmed. Okay. Identify which column you're looking in. Okay.
Right.
Like I just did. Just straight down this column. You say, okay, it's it's weekly or it's lifetime or the biggest problem. I think your textbook example was the biggest problem with drugs. I believe it was.
Yeah, I was a little confused when I first saw that.
Okay, don't get confused. Slow down. Just look at it. And even with your let me give you a few test taking skills real quick. Okay. Literally with your hand on the screen. Okay, you look at it and you do it. And if y'all want to have a scratch piece of paper, okay, where you're jotting that stuff down, that's cool. Okay, just like if you were taking your test in a classroom. Okay, you can still make notes. Okay, it might help you. Okay. Going from there, let me pull this back up. All right. If I add, let's do this. If I add this here, what does that mean?
Frequency? Well, no, that's for, so it's, even if it's uppercase?
It wasn't supposed to be.
Okay.
It just didn't. What is that? Frequency.
So, frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's just showing which those numbers would make sense. But let's click them.
How often it appears, though.
Yep. Okay. So what was your sample size?
Sample size.
Anybody? Showing you this. What is your sample size?
Is it 10?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Frequency.
It would be 30.
Oh.
So you would take 20 people, answer
Right.
this way.
Right.
Right. 10 answered this question.
For some reason in my head, I was just looking at running and I did 50% of 20. I was like, that makes sense.
That's okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. What's another question somebody has? So I'll tell you this. This is the way the test is kind of set up. I'm looking at it. You've got, I think it's 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 tables that are like the table on your questions, like kind of like what I just showed you right here. Okay. And you're just going to use that to answer, like, what percentage of people run, what percentage of people report using weight, what percentage of people have done it in their life. Then you're also going to have one that is like this. Okay. We're going to say this says test scores. Okay. And this says we're going to say this is exam 1. Making up numbers, obviously, no actual exams. All right. What is M?
The average, right? The mean?
Good. So what was the average on exam 2?
It was 82.6, yeah.
Good. Okay. The average on exam 1 would have been
72.5.
Okay. What does the range mean?
So from the lowest score to the highest, right?
Yep. So it means on exam 1, someone made a 42, and it means somebody made 100. Doesn't tell you what like the standard deviation is or anything like that, right? It just tells you that. Okay.
Right. Wasn't there something in? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about something else. But wasn't there something in there about the range and it being off by a couple of numbers, or is that for something else?
And, oh, how? So you mean with the standard deviation? What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. I could be talking about something else that's confusing of a range right now. But I thought I saw something and it said like something about being off a couple of numbers for some reason. But I think I'm talking about something completely different.
Okay. So your range is simply put, it's the highest number to the lowest. So if I report the range of your exam, it tells you that this was the highest grade on the exam and this was the lowest grade on the exam.
Right.
It doesn't tell you anything else. It doesn't tell you if there were, 15 people made 100 on exam 1, or if one person did.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't tell you anything about it except the highest and the lowest. Okay.
Right.
The mean tells you more, right?
Right.
It's going to tell you, you could really, in a lot of ways, you could draw a graph just based on these 3 numbers on the top, exam 1.
Right.
Marking that in the middle, and then you mark the ranges. Okay.
Right.
I'm seeing if there are any other things I can answer for y'all. Does anyone that is on here have another question?
No, ma'am.
Mm,
Is it helping at all?
it did help a lot.
Yes, it helped a lot.
Okay. Do you want me to keep talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. If you have data that is nominal, what should be used for the average?
Nominal.
So what's
Average.
nominal?
About the numbers or no names, right?
There you go. So that would be like your gender.
Right.
That would be like what state you live in.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So what would you use as the average?
For
Would you
for what?
for nominal data? Would you use the median, the mode, mean, or the range?
What was that last one? I gotta miss what you just said.
Okay. If the data is nominal,
Right.
what would you use for the average? Median, mode, mean, or range?
Average.
Mean.
No. So remember, it's just a name. So if I said that, okay, let's write it out. Hold on. So if I said that, we're looking at where everyone in the class is from. Okay.
Right.
So we're gonna say Mississippi 5 people, Alabama 2, Texas 2, Florida 1. Okay. You can't really take an average of Mississippi, right?
Right.
You can't take an average of Alabama or Texas or Florida. You can say that 5 people are from Mississippi, 2 are from Alabama, 2 are from Texas, and 1's from Florida.
So is it mode?
Good. So your average, so the average person in the class is from Mississippi.
Right.
Because there's 5 of them. So this is what you think about. If it's a number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can do a mean.
Right.
You can't do a mean here.
Right.
Okay. If the data, let's see if I can answer this question before I ask it. I don't know that you need the answer to that question. Let's see. Okay, is the range appropriate for describing scores if there's a lot of outliers? If you have a lot of outliers, would you use the range?
No.
Good. What's another word for variability?
The spread.
Good. Okay, is the median impacted by extreme score or outliers?
No, right?
Good. The mean can be misleading when used to describe skewed distribution. True or false?
I don't remember. I want to say true.
Right. The mean can be misleading when used to describe skewed distributions. So if
Okay.
you've got a ton of really high or really low, the mean is going to be skewed.
Right. Okay.
That's all the skewed. What's easier to interpret, proportions or percentages?
Percentages, right?
Yep. Okay. If I gave you this percentage, what is the proportion?
It's like 79 over 100, right?
Which is also known as what?
A fraction.
Yeah. How would you represent it?
What, like saying 79 out of 100?
79% as a proportion.
As a decimal.
Okay, because a proportion is out of what?
It's out of a whole, right?
It's out of one.
Oh, out of one.
So remember, 100% equals 1, right?
Right.
So anything less, you simply just put a decimal in front of whatever that number is and get rid of the percentage.
Right. Okay.
Okay. If 10 out of 100 parents vote in favor of a school decision, what percent vote in favor?
So 10% or 0.10, right?
So if 10 parents, yeah, you're right, vote in favor out of 100 parents, 10% vote in favor.
Right.
I just went over the whole exam. I don't skipped anything.
And I figured out you tried to tell me when I was trying to explain it, but yeah, I was talking about apparently the sum deviation of mean or whatever, where they were like 2/3 lie within this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had been talking about apparently.
Okay, you're talking about like the 34% and the 68%?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interquartile range? Okay. Yep. So, all right, that is on here. So if you've got here in a normal, so this is going to be a normal distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Mean is 60.
Right.
And a standard deviation of 5. Okay.
So that means that it lies between 55 and 65?
34% does, yes.
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm. Good. Perfect. Did everyone else follow that? If the answer is no, say no.
No.
Okay. So if your mean is 5 and your standard, if your mean is 60 and your standard deviation is 5, 34% of the answers fall between one standard deviation on either side of that 60. Okay. So that would be between 55 and 65.
65.
Okay.
So, okay. And if you want to go out more, okay. Yeah. So they're right here, okay. And actually, that's all you need to know, honestly, for the example.
Okay.
Looking at it. Okay. So you just take whatever that standard deviation is, okay.
Mm-hmm.
and you go that many, basically think of it this way. You're standing in one spot and go that many paces left and that many paces right.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
And that's basically what I did. I just took like the mean and subtracted. I subtracted or added to get my basic range.
Yeah. So you're standing in one spot and you say, I got to go one standard deviation to the left, one standard deviation to the right. I feel like it's like the cha-cha-cha or whatever. Like, whatever.
Right.
Okay, so a little to the left, a little to the right. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm trying to see, like, we've done, like, which one has a smaller and bigger standard deviation. All those things. And then the tables, and you're just going to be able to read the tables.
Okay.
As long as y'all, I think a lot of y'all, if you take your time, you have 90 minutes. You have an hour and a half for 50 questions.
Right.
What I would do, whenever I take an exam, I go in and I answer the questions I know.
Yeah.
Know it, go, go, go. Right?
Right.
I'm not sure, I'll skip it and come back, which is exactly why I allow y'all to skip it and come back.
Right.
Okay? Have a scratch piece of paper. And if you need to, like, kind of mark out, 5 steps this way, 5 steps that way. Thinking of it that way. Totally good.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. Any more questions?
No, I think I'm all pushing it.
Ma'am. Well,
Good. Did this help?
Oh yeah, it definitely helps.
yes.
Okay, good. If y'all think of any other questions, let me know. Okay. Don't wait till Sunday night. Take your exam.
Right.
Take a few days this week and study. Okay. If you have questions, let me know. I will be they're sending me to Northeast Community College Tuesday, but
Mhm.
Wednesday I'll be in the office and Thursday I'll be in the office for sure.
Okay.
But I'll be available tomorrow and Tuesday night when I get back. We're at Northeast till like 3:00.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all send me an email if you have a question. And I'm going to get this uploaded and you can watch it again and see my crazy examples and me trying to type at the same time as talk.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I tried. All right. Y'all have a good night.
You
All right,
too.
You
thanks.
too.
Bye.